for a bit. I've been trying to figure out how to put this into words. Parents, remember that your child is not your possession and is a unique individual. By saying unique, they probably, especially if they're autistic and you're here, then they aren't what you originally wanted. Let's just be real for 2 seconds. Parents have an expectation in their mind. They want a normal kid, they want a normal life. And then when a parent hears that, oh, your child's going to be disabled, it sets a stereotype from the very beginning, and disappointment creeps out. Then of course the parents over there sitting like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me to make this child? Some will be, excuse me. Your child is not your possession. You're simply their caretaker. Now, if you become more than that to your child, cool. But that's all you really are right now. Your job is to make sure that your child has a chance, a fighting chance. A lot of parents don't do that because they get disappointed with us being different. And they don't want to change themselves, they want us to change to fit their convenience. And that takes such a damn toll on us. It really does. It's why we have to wear the mask. We wear the mask for all of your convenience. I call it the mask, some people call it, I call it the filter, some people call it the mask. I started calling it the mask after I talked to this one guy. He was basically quoting the movie, showed a picture, and it's just like, gosh, now it's stuck in my head. It's like that bad song you can't get rid of. Only it was actually kind of funny. But parents, when you have expectations, that forces us to live up to those expectations. I want you to think about something. I want you to think about when you walked into a date with expectations. Did they live up to those expectations? Or did it go wrong some point? Or did one of those encounters go wrong? We don't always get what we want. And part of the issue with the American culture is privilege. Because even the most redneck of us feel privilege. Like we feel we have a right. White power! And all that bull crap. Which, by the way, Black Lives Matter. I can't say white power or anything like that without saying Black Lives Matter afterwards. Because at this point, it's a sin. And I don't mean that in a funny, joking way. I mean, if you don't support Black Americans, if you are racist, you are ignorant. And you should go back to your country. Russia is beautiful and they allow racism. Same thing with China. Well, none of you guys are from China. Because Black and Asian don't crack. Let's just be real here. There's a reason I date SPF 30 or higher. I'm horribly disappointed with this country. There are people that are privileged but unaccomplished. I live in a place where there's a bunch of inherited money, meaning the grandpappy built the farm and everybody else just kind of maintained it, but they never aspired to anything more. They're just comfortable. That's what we are, is we're comfortable as a country, even the poorest of us. And we shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't feel privileged, we shouldn't feel spoiled. There's no reason for that. And we sure as heck, in fact, I'm going to say we sure as hell shouldn't call ourselves Christian if we're going to be acting that way. Why? Because that's not biblical. Sorry, I'm getting washed over with stuff and it's been a hard life. Plus, I mean, I just picked up my laptop at 8 o'clock. Right now it's like 11. And I only stopped at one store. So, yeah, that's the thing. I'm tired. I'm tired today. I'm tired of life. I'm tired of disappointment and losing. Expectation creates disappointment. That's where I was going. And when you have expectations of your children, you become disappointed in them, it makes us feel abandoned. It makes us feel less connected to you. So when you're later on in life, I fully expect my father to call me on his deathbed or when he finds out he's dying, just to say, oh, sorry. That might be the only time he says sorry in my life. And I am going to hang up on him or spit in his face. Because he doesn't mean it. You don't ignore your son and not call him on his phone for 10 years or reach out through email or anything like that if you really love your son. And parents, he neglected me. Like, he wanted to buy my love, and when I didn't live up to his expectation for the things that he wanted me to experience that he couldn't himself, because he was poor. I mean, I started off in a church parsonage. We didn't pay rent. Like, my dad was that broke. So let's just be real here. And he built himself up. He did the insurance thing and whatnot, our H-Factor insurance, and he made it work. But he also ignored his son. And my mother, she just belittled and brushed off. She's a different person now than after Grandma died. Than before Grandma died, I'm sorry. My family's got a lot of trauma and they take it out on their kids. That's not nice. The fact that my mother confessed to punching my sister. Well, she didn't. My sister said she did. And my mother didn't disagree. My sister's a sweet, nice person. She would never do anything to deserve being hit or punched. I can't imagine that. But I can't imagine my mother getting angry and punching her because she's gotten angry and punched me as a kid. Now, did I deserve it? Yeah, I was mouthing off, but at the same time, she didn't slap, she didn't spank. She, boom, and my head bounced off the glass window, and I'm just standing there stunned like, what the hell just happened? And then it hit me, but more on the emotional side of my mother just hit me. Because the pain, that ain't shit. Man, I got a lot of hurt. Parents, don't let your kids grow up to be mean. Show that you care, take an interest. And if not, please just, if it's an autistic child, put them up for adoption. They will be okay. The sooner we know that we don't have you to look up to or to rely on, the better off that we're going to be. Because we live by rules. I've never met an autist that didn't live by rituals, routines, and rules. 3 R's. And a rule for me is what family represents. Which also presents a conflict because my father, I want to see him as my father. He was my hero as a kid. Now that I see him as an adult, I mean, he's still married, technically married to my mother. And back before he ended up blowing me off when I needed help, genuinely needed help, which ended up costing me a source of income and causing me to be homeless, but let's not get into that. I met his girlfriend, Mustache Lady. I call her Mustache Lady because she had those tiny legs, a round body, and a mustache. I mean, I swear he met her at a biker bar. And he wanted me to be like super extra nice to her. It's just like, no, I'm being standoffish because I don't know this strange person that I didn't know I was going to encounter that's living with you while you're married to my mother, whose favorite vehicle that was painted purple and running fine, you turned into a project and then dismantled, and now she has to drive other cars. Like, I have a screwed up family, and my father is a piece of work. David Hupel, excuse me, David Hupel. David Rahal is a different character in and of himself. From what I heard, he was screwing over my mother's business, A Mail Center, which was an impulsive buy. My family's screwed up. All I'm trying to do is just make it. But there's so much hurt in there, and I've never had anybody to talk to, so... But parents, don't have expectations of your kids, please.